What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and in this video, we're going to be going over some new cards in general. I mean, there's a whole new archetype to talk about, and a new card that's, I think, part of the Lair of Darkness type. So, without further ado, let's jump into Diabolica, Dragon Fiend Commander. It's a Dark Fiend effect, level 8 with 2300 attack, 0 defense. Its first, you can only use one effect of its first and second effect, and only turn. If a fiend monster other than it is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you special summon the graveyard if it was sent there when they were sent, or hand even if not, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one fiend in your graveyard except for itself and add it to your hand. Honestly, I don't think this card's very good. Maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know in the comment section down below. It seems pretty mediocre. It just kind of summons itself back. I mean, it adds a fiend, which is nice, but that's really not that big a deal in my honest opinion. But we're gonna move on to a different archetype, a whole new one called Purrely. So it's the first one is Purrely, and it's a level 1 light fairy effect with 100 attack, 100 defense. If this is normal or special, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, then add one Purrely spell or trap from among them. Place the remainder on the bottom of the deck in any order. Second effect, once per turn during your main phase, reveal one Purrely quick play spell from your hand, and if you do, you special summon one Xyz that mentions that spell using this face-up card as material, treated as an Xyz summon, then attach the revealed card to the Xyz monster as material. So this isn't a once. None of these are hard once per turn. They're soft once per turn. So if you summon multiple of this card, you can just do that multiple times. That seems pretty good. Unless there's a translation error and stuff like that. Okay, so it says no initial translation is rough as our main problem-solving card text staff are currently unavailable as the time of this. So I'm going to assume that these are hard once per turn, because if they're not, this card is potentially very, very strong. And if it is, then fine, probably. It just depends on what the Xyz and the quick play spell cards do. But it being a level 1 is very relevant, and its stats actually having that low of attack actually does come in handy, believe it or not. You can do some stupid things if this isn't a hard once per turn, like play a machine dupe, make it into a machine, and then get the other 2 out of the deck. That'd be funny. But anyway, let's move on to the first card, which is Your Fairy Happiness. It's a rank 2 light fairy Xyz, 2000 attack, 100 defense. Any 2 level 2 monsters will do it. At the end of the damage step in which this card battled, you can add one Purrely card from your deck to your hand. If this card has Purrely Happy Memory as material, one face-up monster on the field has its attack. So that's a direct translation. I'm guessing you can. It's like you attack and then you have the attack of another one. Is kind of what it is. The problem-solving card text is kind of hard, because it's obvious they're kind of just using direct translations more. Thrice per turn, when a Purrely quick play spell is activated, quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this card as material. Then you can return one spell or trap card your opponent controls to hand. So that one seems more or less accurate. Assuming it's not like, what's a thrice per turn? The only thing is if it targets or not, and as it stands now, it doesn't target. So, we're just gonna say it doesn't target, and it's non-targeting spell trap removal. Depending on the right meta, that could be very, very good and stuff like that. So overall, it's not a bad card. It does add you cards as well as having the attack of one of your opponent's monsters to potentially get over with one other XCs. Speaking of other XCs, we got Epurrely Beauty. It's a rank 2 Water Fairy XC's effect with 1600 attack, 1100 defense, and is uh, level 2 monsters. Once again, it is generic. Once per turn, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls. That monster's effects are negated until the end of the turn. If this card has Fury, Pretty Memory as material, you can activate this effect during your opponent's turn as a quick effect. Thrice per turn, if your quick play spell card is activated, you can attach it. Then you can change the battle position of one monster your opponent controls. So, I'm gonna go on a limb here and assume that all of them have the first part for the second effect, where if you activate a quick play spell, you can attach it. So we're just gonna kind of say what the unique effect is. So if that's a non-targeting battle position changing, that could also be very useful in the right situation, as you can get over monsters, because some monsters don't have very high defense, but they have pretty good attack. Obviously, that doesn't do much for link monsters, but the first effect is very good, as the way you're probably going to be summoning this is with the level 1 monster's effect to just throw out and attach on. So, very good card. It's probably what you're going for in turn 1. Alright, so we got Plump. It's, once again, it's a rank 2. Has 200 attack and 2100 defense, and it is generic. Any 2 level 2s can make this. You target up to 2 spell traps in the graveyards. Attach them to this card as material. If this has Pure Delicious Memory as material, you can activate this card as a quick effect. So the thrice per turn. Its unique effect is that after you successfully activate the second effect, you can banish one monster on the field. Now, if that's non-targeting banish, that's also, once again, that's very powerful, and that pulls as well as with the other card having monster negation on top of that. That's very powerful. Very good, very powerful card, and definitely what you like. It's being a 3 times per turn, mind you. Not once, not twice, 3 times per turn. That's pretty powerful. But Epurrely Happiness is a level 7 light fairy effect monster, 2500 attack and 1100 defense, and it's level 7. You can XYZ this card by using a rank 2 with 5 or more materials attached to it. During your main phase, you can detach one material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls till the end of the turn. If this card has a level 1 Fury monster attached as material, but cannot activate cards in response, or effects in response to the activation. When an attack is declared, or a battle involving this card that has 5 or more materials inflict. If I'm being honest, I think that the other cards in this archetype are better. And I think that this card is supposed to be their finisher, but I think if you're going to use and push for game for a finisher, be better off making UFD and F0 and UFD. My honest opinion, I think you're better off making those than this. But that's just my personal. Disagree with me if you want in the comment section down below. But next up, we got their field spell, and which says your opponent cannot target monsters, your Purrely monsters special summon. Turn if a XE monster control a Purrely XE specifically leads you to your opponent, used because attacked over battle card effect, etc. Special summon one Purrely monster from the deck or graveyard. During the end phase, you can target one Purium XE on the field, attach, play your deck or graveyard as material. So as well, this card overall, you're probably playing it. It does protect them, even though special summon. But you know that's still good enough to see opinion. But we're gonna move on to my friend, Fury, my friend. His spell card and first and second effect are hard ones. So you pay 500 life points, reveal 3 Purery cards, except for it from your deck to your opponent. Then your opponent randomly chooses one of them, adds it to your hand, and you shuffle the other 2 back into the deck. Okay, so this is like one of your other search spells. This is the uh, if a face-up Purrely XE's monster you control field do opponents, step you can add up to 3 Purrely quick play spell cards with different names from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty good. So you have a bunch of the quick plays under them. And that they attack over it. All that you get those plays back. That's pretty good. And then then you can possibly continue from there. This deck actually looks pretty good. So far, I'm honestly kind of impressed. I thought this was gonna be I don't know. I thought I was kind of expecting weaker, but these are direct translations. Maybe better translations will come out and it'll say whether they really are good or bad or what. But we're gonna move to Happy Memory. It's a quick play spell. You choose one card on the field. It cannot be destroyed until the turn. Then you apply the following effect: discard one card, then special summon one level 1 monster from your deck. So, card is attached to Fury as Xyz material. It gains the following effect: this card can attack monsters a number of times equal number of Happy Memory attached to it +1 during each battle phase. Attack multiple times. That's card's good. It special summons the level 1 from the deck that really gets your plays started. That's super powerful. It lets you. It gives the effect. Gives a pretty good effect to your XC as well. Which makes more sense now for the first XCs, which mentions this card. Because you attack, then search one of these cards. Search a card in this archetype. Have the attack again, and do it again. Because I don't believe this is a hard once per turn. No, this is not a once per turn. So assuming this translation is correct, and it's not a once per turn, that's multiple searches, like having the attack of your opponent's stuff to get over to like guarantee you're getting over as wow. Deck has some serious potential. Like I said, but with translation error and stuff like that, as this deck could go either way. There's a lot of things that really make or break this deck. Honestly, the thing that's making this deck is the cards aren't once per turn. If these cards become once per turn, I think it might kill the deck. As sad as that is. But anyway, let's move on to Very Pretty Memories. Card was mentioned earlier. Each player gains 1,000 life points and you apply the effect. Card one card, then special summon from your deck. Second effect says that this card is attached to Fury XE as material effect. You can for monster graveyard, then target one card your opponent. Attach it to the card as material. that second effect is actually pretty good because there's a lot of cards that, while they'll be like, oh, I can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, or if they are, or if they leave the field, then it triggers some kind of it'll trigger some type of effect. This, however, not so much, and you get a little bit of your life points back on top of just playing or activating it. So it's good if you play the first. Good card. We're gonna move on though. Uh, very delicious memory. Choose one monster on the field that cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of the next turn. Then you can apply the following: card one card special one level 1 Purrely monster from your deck to the card is attached to XD. The material gains the following effect, gains 300. As that effect isn't as good as the other one, but you're still going to play this because it's your play. You have to get a monster. I'm going to assume, though, that says target a monster on the field instead of choose. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's a problem-solving card text thing. I think that usually when cards say choose for cards, it means target. So, but I'm gonna say that says target. Same thing with this. Target one card on the field, can't be destroyed. Still pretty good though. Fury Leap is a normal trap card, and you can only activate one of it per turn. So this actually is a hard. Target one Purrely XD's monster you control. Special summon one Purrely XD's extra deck with a different rank. Using it as material is treated, and you transfer the material. The special summon monster by its effects extra deck. During the end phase of the turn, you can banish this card to target into your graveyard shuffle. So, I would like to have gotten to draw something off of that second effect, or got something back for it. But what this card is pretty much going to be used for is when you're pushing for game, you're attacking and stuff like that. You run out of attacks. This up, you throw on your rank 7 and attack again. Hit them for 4,000, because if you have 5 materials, it's 100 extra. I think that this card would have been better as a quick play spell card, though, in my honest opinion. I think that really would have made this very, very good. So, yeah. Overall, I'm not too impressed with this card. But you can let me know what you think of this card in the comment section below. And then this card's getting it. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If it is your birthday today, happy birthday. And if you deck profiles or replays, you can send them to JankyYGO at .com. You can tell me what you think of this archetype down in the comment section below. I think it's kind of cool, and depending on if these cards are actually not hard once per turns. I know the XEs aren't, but I'm talking about like spells and all that. And the main deck monster. I think that this deck has some serious potential. But anyway, of course, and as always, just gotta have a wonderful day.